everybody. Hello, friends. Welcome in. Hello, hello. This group of friends. All right, I'm not going to waste any time. Nicole is going to let you in as people come in. If you have questions, pop them in the chat. But hello, everyone. Welcome to Sales Strategies. I am Brooke Silva, your host for today. And joining me is one of my favorite humans on the planet, Mr. Austin Jones. I'll let him take a minute shortly and introduce himself. But today we're talking about something that is such a hot topic and everybody seems to have an opinion about, and that is AI, artificial intelligence. And it's funny because some people think it's going to replace commercial real estate professionals. Others think it's going to replace and solve all kinds of problems. And I don't think that is true. I don't think either's true. So today we wanted to sit down with someone who is actually using it every single day inside their business. Austin is from Houston and he's been using Claude in ways that made this nerd brain explode. So today isn't a software demo though. That's You're on your own on that one. Austin's got some things you can check out. He'll put them in the chat later. But today is a conversation about what actually works, what doesn't, and how AI can create more time for things that matter the most, which should be your relationships. Austin, who are you, friend?
I am Austin from Houston, commercial broker. Uh, we do it all. I've been in the business since 2018. Also co-host of the CRE Edge podcast, and just doing my thing out here
And a
in
total
H-Town.
nerd, total
Yeah,
AI nerd, actually.
I am a total AI nerd. A total
When
AI
you
nerd.
showed me what you were rocking and rolling one day, I was like, what? What? Are we gonna sell this? Are we gonna like train on this? What are we doing? So let's start this off. How did you end up getting to use AI, specifically Claude, because that is your preferred, if I remember correctly, you have
Mhm.
some, but Claude is your preferred artificial intelligence. How did you end up using it and starting?
Okay, so what I've come to learn is most people still see AI as a bot that you have a conversation with. And that is 100% not what we're doing. This is AI in our world is a bot that does our mundane work. It's a worker. It's an agent. So I got started just when everyone else did when ChatGPT came out. It was probably 2.0 or 3.0 when uh, you would have it write emails or, write articles and stuff. And that's very helpful and there's a lot of value, but that's about 1% of what it can do. And then I, for me, this was a technology that as soon as I understood what it was capable of doing in the early days, I'm talking about like 21 and 2022. I was like, this is going to put people out of jobs. Like that was my first thought. Like this is going to, uh,
It was
and
everybody's thoughts. I think it
yeah,
scared a lot of people, and instead of getting educated, we hid from it. Even me as a technologist, I hid from it.
yeah. And I kind of went the other way. But what I realized pretty quick is I try to test the limits. When a new technology comes out, I'm always finding the holes. And it really couldn't do much for me. Like it could write stuff and it could talk and that was helpful and I used that for a lot of projects. But it couldn't like call me while I was on the road and say, "Hey, you just got a contract in and you need to make a response." And then I can't go, "Okay, well summarize the contract. I'm driving."
Yeah.
It couldn't do simple things like that. Like so they when the idea of what's called agents um, came came to me when I started hearing that. When I started realizing an agent at that time was supposed to be something that could just take over the computer and do things. I'm
Right.
like, I'm like, I want to be the first in line for that. Like when I can program an AI bot to take over my computer and just start doing things, I'm like, it could do anything. Like if it can take over your computer, it can use every program on your computer, including your browser. So that technology took a while for it to come out. And when ChatGPT released their agent version, I was terribly disappointed because
Mm,
I would say, run a search on Crexy and, find a deal that's like 8 cap and above. And it'd be like, okay, you would see the cursor jump. And when it first happened, and I'm like, oh, it's like literally
really thinking.
it's like clicking on stuff. I'm like, this is like watching paint dry, but like I can leave and
But
come back, right? And that's when I realized like this is going to be powerful. Like once I can get this technology just to take over like the mundane, the boring stuff, running the searches, running the comps, finding the tax records, looking for missing documents, searching my email for the person that said that one thing that one time and I can't remember who it was, you know.
but you remember one word from the
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly. So I guess I kind of see I felt like I could see where the technology was going.
So when did you start using Claude? Because you've got these incredible dashboards, and this is really why I wanted to chat with you today, is because you've got these incredible dashboards that free your time up and are giving you insight into what your team is doing, where your sales are in the pipeline, who's making the calls, who's not making their calls. So
Hmm.
talk to me about how you're using Claude and those dashboards so you get more phone time, more lead gen time, and less checking in as the team owner, making sure everybody's accountable.
So over time, and I started, people are like, I don't know how to use Claude. I'm like, that's the first problem is that you think that you don't know how to use Claude. The truth is, if you can type a text message, you can use Claude. You can use any AI. If you're not using AI, just ask AI, how do I use AI? AI, and AI will tell you how to use AI. That's
It
that's
really
literally how
will.
you start. So it's going to meet you where you are. And so I would just ask it bold questions like, okay, I would recommend this. Address the problem. Okay, so everybody here, we're all commercial brokers, we're all agents. Our businesses every single day has a extensive list of challenges that we face constantly. And especially when a market that's volatile, like ours is in Houston, especially, there's constant fires that we're having to put out. So I start by saying, I'm overwhelmed. Like, that's literally how you can start. I'm overwhelmed. I got too much going on. And then Claude will start asking questions. And over time, Claude essentially did a complete audit of my business and went through my CRM, all my email, all my text messages, all my communications, and went through all my transactions. It was able to go through all my contracts and find mistakes that we had made in our contracts. It just went everything. But before it went through everything, it would ask, okay, what's your CRM? It was just like like a
What
high
are you
level
using?
coach. Yeah,
Yeah,
what are you
what's your
using?
login?
How yeah, and it jumped on my browser. I logged in. Once I logged it in and I could watch it, it took over stuff. Now you got to be comfortable with that, but you have to do that. It's representing you. It's like having an assistant, but it's like having a high level coach that's able to go in and audit every aspect of your business. And then over time, and now this does take time, but we came up with a plan. We basically came up with a playbook based on weaknesses in my business. And we designed the whole process around the 5 pillars of the business. And number one is lead generation. Number two is conversion. Number three is our listing platforms. Number four is our bulletproof transaction. And number five is legacy. And it's just, and I keep going through it's it's a whole process in process, right? That we're designing. So now within each of those pillars, we were able to design what's called in Claude, it's called plugins. So a plugin is basically a folder, and inside the folder, it's like an operations manual. It's like a list of skills. The problem that we were having with ChatGPT is if you wanted ChatGPT to, you know, find a specific property on LoopNet, for instance, you have to keep telling it how to do it. Like it doesn't remember how to do.
Yeah.
Like, how do I get to LoopNet? Or it would spell it wrong,
It
and
has amnesia, is what I've
yeah,
always said. ChatGPT has amnesia when it comes to it having to log into the different tools we use, unless there's a direct connection in settings where you're able to log in. But there's not a direct connection for many of the programs that we're using.
right.
You have to let it take over the browser and do those things. So Chris Abel asked a great question. How do you let Claude access everything in your computer and keep confidential info? And I'll tell you from what I know, and then I'll let Austin speak on this. It's only reading what you give it to access.
Yeah.
That's it. If it's not allowed to have open, crazy, go through every file. So if I'm working in a project in Claude, it has specific access to a specific drive where it's allowed to read and write files only.
Hmm.
That's it. And I know Anna, she said, what's confidential these days? Well, we still do have NDAs to worry about, and we have other things that we don't want to go public. Um, However, Claude, you have to give it permission. And then as you're working, it will say, am I allowed to have this? Allow.
Hmm.
It's allow for this session, not allowed all the time open access unless you've got a skill that's running at night,
Right.
right? Then it's something that runs automatically. Chris, if that didn't answer your question, keep going in the chat, and I'll let you know. How do you have it access transactions, Austin? Were you having it in Lone Wolf, DocuSign,
Yeah.
Dotloop? Okay.
So yeah, that's a fun one, and this has been a lot of work because there is a lot of nuance to, for instance, you get a buyer and you need a file set up with all the appropriate documents, and you need the buyer to. So what Claude can do, it can put that file together. It can pull in the right documents. You have to train it to do it your way, the right way, and everybody might do it a little bit differently. And it can fill everything out and complete it, but you're going to put final eyes on it. It will make some mistakes, but as it makes those mistakes, you don't get mad at it. You correct it. But what Claude does that's different than, ChatGPT or Gemini is Claude is writing an SOP on everything you do. And so I would so for instance, we got a new buyer that we're working with and we're writing an offer today. We did uh, uh, backslash, and we have a buyer representation or a buyer offer skill. And so then it looks at the skill, it refers to the skill, and it has step-by-step instructions on how to run that skill. And then it can just write the offer at this point, right? And so we have about 50 or 60 different skills that we have written, everything from, manage my task list to write offers to send out messages for happy hour. There's quite a bit. And out of about 60 skills, there's about 35 to 40 of those skills that are on a schedule. So you can put them on a schedule. And so every night I have one of my skills at 6 o'clock at night is supposed to go, and any new industrial or multifamily property that has been listed in the last week in Texas, we have undisclosed. Like, this is one of our big headaches is
Wow.
is prices are not disclosed. And when you call the agent doesn't
Look,
answer. When you email the
look.
email, and it's just a headache just getting a response. And when they do respond, they have a long answer, and the answer doesn't answer your question. And
Hmm.
so what we have Claude doing in that instance, because that's a huge paid point, Claude will look out and say, "Hey, I put a list together of 5 or 6 properties that have an undisclosed price." They email them, they text them, they set a task list, and Claude does the emailing and the texting and creating the task list, and then will tell me, "Okay, now you need to call
Now
Brooke.
hit the button.
Yeah, you got information you need. Share this with your client or whatever."
So we've talked a lot about what you are starting to let AI do. And I know for you, just because I know you, it has freed up a lot of time to help you get back in your business, do lead gen, lead your team and coach them because you've been through some changes with your team. What do people think AI can do or is replacing that it really is not in your world?
Well, people go to Legion first.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that people say. And I would say that AI can absolutely enhance your lead gen. For instance, it can go through your CRM and create lists for you to call. But if you think that AI is just going to call cold call lists, and that's not, I don't think that's ever going to be a
No.
thing.
I don't think so either. I don't think it should. One of the things Alicia and I and Bruce talk about in our core side of things all the time is AI should never replace you. It should replace mundane tasks, but it can't replace the relationship, nor should you let this thing go wild. Would you let it? I've always said this to the agents I work with. Would you let an intern get on the phone day one? I feel like working with AI is if you just let it go, it's working with an intern and you put them on the phone day one. They're either
Yeah.
going to run crying or it's going to screw up a lot of
Yeah.
stuff for you. And I've always looked at AI as well as if you are unwilling to tell it when it goes wrong, then you're not ready. If you're
Yeah.
or if you are not super clear on your systems, that's the other thing. It can help
Yeah.
you tighten up, but it can't replace a lack of education or understanding on certain things.
That's
A
a
lot of
great point.
people, right? A lot
Yeah.
of people come to me and say, I want AI to do XYZ. And I say, well, what is your outcome, your desired outcome? And they say, well, I don't know. I said, well, when you figure that out, that's when you get to use AI for those things. Because
Yeah.
if you don't know what it's supposed to do, how are you supposed to train a real person or your artificial intelligence to do the things that need to get done? Period. End
100%.
of story. Um, and that's such a big thing is I think when we got nervous, we thought it's because it was gonna, oh, people are gonna know it's fake. People are gonna know XYZ. There are markers, right? There are things we can do to change and fix and do certain things. What is something you do not let AI blindly do? Like it will never send this, it will never do this. Here's my hard stop.
Yeah. So it will, I give it a lot of freedom at this point because we've worked to get to that. It will write an offer contract, but it won't send it. Like we'll be the one that hits send. Some
Okay.
emails, I'll let it send certain emails, certain ones it won't.
Yeah,
Make AI, it's not going to be able to make phone calls. There is
it
tech,
shouldn't.
there is technology that can make calls for you, but the better AI gets at doing that, the better we as humans are going to be at recognizing it, and you're going to get flagged for spam. So you
Big
just
time.
you cannot replace that voice to voice contact, but that's the whole point. It takes away all the other work that I'm doing that's keeping me from getting on the phones and gives me more time to get on the phones. In addition to that, I have one of my daily skills. I have a morning brief that it runs and it sends me an update on Slack. It'll tell me you missed something or somebody said
Oh,
something or somebody mentioned something like you have an opportunity with this with with Todd Akers. He mentioned something about some land in Texas and you didn't set a follow-up task. Like that kind
oh,
of stuff
for
is,
shame.
yeah, that kind of stuff is super huge because when you are talking to a lot of people, if you're not very diligent about creating those follow-up tasks and following through with your plan, like we just can't be expected to remember everything. But my Claude goes through my
Can't.
my database and checks my work for me every day.
So it's holding you accountable to the tasks you told it you were going to do every day and that you wanted to be reminded of.
In addition to that, it also says, here's something you should have thought about. In addition to,
Doi.
yeah, you didn't even think about this. So yes.
I love that. And it's almost becoming a high level assistant to you personally. Now, Austin has a team. He's got a fantastic team. Are those skills running for your teammates as well? So you know what they are doing or where there's opportunities for them to have better follow-ups, make better connections.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's the same, like writing an offer. Like my admin is using it at a high level. Marketing, you know, uh, it's very helpful when it comes to marketing. Pretty much the same thing with the team. Like everything that keeps them from getting on the phones can be leveraged with AI at this point. Like we are at the point in history where everything that keeps us from getting on the phones can be leveraged with
Right.
it with AI. We are there now today.
That is amazing. The one of the things that came up in the chat is people are asking if you're using a paid subscription. I will tell you, yes, you have to use a paid subscription. Having a free version of any of the AI tools you're going to use is like hiring a new person every single day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't. Like if you want someone to, if you want your AI to retain memories, what's the document called that lives in Claude? Scope of work, is that what it's called?
Or there's
Operations.
skills. There's skills
Yeah.
and there's plugins.
Um, Jeff wants to know how, and I think I know the answer, but I'm going to let you do it. How does Claude have access to your conversations with clients?
Okay.
Is follow-up boss integration?
So there's a couple of layers to this, but I'll give the easy answer. Anything that you can do on a browser, Claude can get in there.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
yeah. So if your CRM is browser based, which we're this 2026, almost everything that we're doing is browser based. And even if it's not, Claude can access. So Claude can basically get on there and go click, click, click and scroll through stuff. That's there's other layers below that. There's like API integration, but we can save
Hmm.
that for another time.
Yes, RealNex is able to get logged into. I
Hmm.
tested that last week. If it's on a browser, friends, like I don't know how to make this any clearer. If you can open Chrome, and I will tell you, do not use Safari. It has mental breakdowns with Safari, as do I. It is Chrome browser through and through. If there's a login, if there's a tab open, you can use it. That's it.
So
It's
you got to
it's
connect,
it's that
you have to
easy.
connect them. So what you do is you download Claude. You use the Claude program on your computer. It syncs with the Claude app on your phone. And then your Google Chrome has a Claude extension that kind of connects everything
Yeah.
automatically together like that.
Are you stealing my word?
Yeah, that's a good word.
It is a great word. I didn't come up with it anyway. Okay, so as the tech nerd brain I am, what does your day look like if we log in and systems are down?
And systems are down.
Right. Because there have been times where I text you and I'm like, oh, this thing is down. You got me into it. I'm using it at a high level and now I can't. Like, so
So
what does your day look
yeah,
what does your day look like?
so it's very interesting because it does go down. So I pay for the max plan, which is a certain amount of usage. There's a limit to how much Claude can be used. I learned that the hard way because I used it up, and you get like a weekly, you basically get a weekly allowance. What happens when you run out of it? Then you
You
have to
cry.
pay, yeah, you have to pay for the extra tokens are expensive.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to learn how to make it be more efficient.
Yeah.
Um,
Would you ask it? Austin and I tried this like two
yeah,
weeks ago. We were like, let's try asking it how to be more efficient with its
yeah.
time. And if not, it's not like you lose a week. I'm talking more, okay, you wake up Monday morning. Do you know what to do if Claude did not run your skills overnight? Does your team know what to do? Like, where is the accountability to this AI systems if there's an outage for some reason?
Well, I mean, if it's a power outage, you can't do, you just got to
Right.
wait for the power to get up. If Claude is out and everything else is working, we still have our CRM, we still have our email, we still have our freaking phones.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. You still got to get on the phones and start dialing.
Well, and I think that's the thing is people become so we do one or two basic things in this world. Yeah. However, we have come to a point in our lives where we rely on technology so
Hmm.
heavy that I think people panic and they're like, forget it, no calls today.
Yeah,
And they have the number one, this is the most sophisticated piece of technology you will ever own outside of like a Tesla.
right.
But yes, it does reside on Austin's desktop, but he can pull it in on a browser if he needs to be, or his computer just decides to up and die. I
Hmm.
use Claude on a separate machine at my house to run things. I have a Mac Mini off to the side so that when
There you
I'm
go.
in my everyday work, I can take it. Like if you've got an old computer, dump it on there if you're worried about like load times and how much processor you have. We only have a few minutes left though. Let's go lightning round. Your
Okay.
favorite thing Claude does for you every day.
Reverse prospecting inquiry.
Biggest time saver.
Um, Managing my tasks. like prioritizing my tasks and deferring lower important tasks into the future. So I don't get
One,
bogged down.
I love that. One task everyone should automate.
Feedback follow up.
Sorry, coming from the red side, it's funny as hell to me. What is one task you should never automate?
Picking up the phone and dialing the number.
One AI tip or two for people who are just getting started, who haven't even logged in to AI or played with it at a level where you are at.
Uh, be transparent with the AI. Tell the AI where you are and what you know, what you don't know, and pay attention, focus, and be ready to learn.
Will you continue to look at other AI platforms as they come out, like a Claude? Or do you think Claude is your everyday must-have now?
Um, I'm pretty deep into the Claude stuff right now. I have, gone through about five or six different AIs over the last couple of years. Um, but I'm still paying attention to it. It just takes a lot of time to switch platforms. So I'm probably going to stick with Claude at least for the year and then see if there's something better. But right now, I mean, like, all the reviews are saying that Claude is still highly more capable.
I agree. And as somebody who studies technology for a living, this is one of the ones that I believe is going to stay. I also believe that just one AI system cannot solve for everything you may be trying to automate, depending on if you're trying to be better about emails or if you're trying to make it do things. There's a big
Hmm.
difference. And get super curious, play with prompts. Austin said it before. If you don't know what you're doing with it, ask it. I do it all the time. When I get a response I don't like, my ChatGPT is Bestie. I'm like, Bestie, what could I have said better or asked to get a better response from you? Because that was horrific. And she goes, I know, Brookie. That was so bad. Here's what I wished you had broken it down. You gave me too much info at once. Silly things like that make such a
Hmm.
difference.
Yep.
Austin, if people want to set up virtual coffee or if they're nearby, want real coffee with you, how do they get a hold of you to chat more about this or get access to one of your AI webinars you've been putting out?
Shoot me a text, or I left my calendar link in the
Cool.
chat. So just we'll jump on a 15-minute Google Voice or Zoom call, and I'm happy to talk.
Well, thank you, Austin. Thank you for taking the time to share with our commercial friends about your experience with
Thank
AI.
you.
And I hope everyone takes this away. AI is not about taking away your time from the relationships that matter. It's about working with systems and tools and remove the busy work. So you
Hmm.
have more time for the conversations, for the coaching of your team. Guess what? You get to take a lunch break or have a bio break, right? Technology should create opportunities for time to be human, not fewer. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Everybody on this
Thank
call is
you.
also going to get a copy of the recording, and we can't wait to see you. Remember, we do this every Monday, so I hope to see you on the next one. And Austin, we love you so much.
Love you too.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank
Bye.
you.